Here's my recommendation for CRM and Big Data 2.0. So let's say we've got 5 people involved in buying decisions at the average company. We know the research says on average 5.4, so this is going to be slightly less than that. This very simple example here shows that there's 7 people involved in that buying decision. So if we've got 5 people involved in the buying decision, let's just say on average, as we know, millennials are going to spend time in anywhere between 10 and 20 different companies over the course of their lifetime. So let's just take a small number. So let's just say on average 10 different companies. So 5 people, they've been at 10 different companies. On average, that's 50 companies worth of experience that you have contained within that one organization. So the question for the salesperson is, do any of these companies have any knowledge or experience with my product or service? So it'd be nice to know that, right? And then we say, let's say that each of those people have 10 circles of influence. So that's friends, colleagues, past bosses, et cetera, that they like to rely on. So that's 500 people to talk to. So the question for a salesperson is, well, how do I prioritize who I should talk to and when? Well, obviously, if I've had some people that have had a very positive experience with my product or service, I'd love to go after them first. So if I've got a CRM and a big data system that gives me LinkedIn information, Facebook information, pulls from my CRM, all of this different stuff, this is what I'd like to know. So I want you guys to build me a prospect profile. I want to know what the business information is like. So I want to understand for a person, maybe what speeches, publications have they given, what books have they either read, commented on, written, et cetera, what articles have they written, commented on, shared, et cetera, so that way I get to know a little bit about their business interests. And then what do they like to do in business? Obviously, if they're an HR person, then they're into HR, but do they serve on any boards? Are they active in their community in other sorts of ways that are, somehow tied to their business? And then I also want to understand some personal information about that person. So, what is it they like to do? And I also want to understand, about what age range are they? Maybe, obviously the personal info could also be, well, where do they like to go on vacation? Where have they been? That kind of thing. So all of this stuff can be pulled typically from Facebook and see where they've been, where they've tagged themselves. And then interest, who do they like? Have they tagged some of their friends on Facebook? Maybe they've tagged some of these colleagues over here in some of these companies. So wouldn't we like to see the interrelationship on a prospect profile of here's the people that they really associate with? Circles of influence with the Facebook tagging, the LinkedIn posts and shares. So let me quantify for you how valuable this information is for a sales team. So let's just say on average, each salesperson has 200 to 500 prospect companies. That's very, very standard, very typical. On average, we're going to say they have 5 buyers within each of those companies, right, as we already described here. So that means that there's anywhere between 1,000 and 2,500 people that each salesperson has to build a profile for and has to have some knowledge or information about in order to hopefully create a sale at some point. Now let's just say that they spend on average 1 hour per person building this by themselves, which we can obviously do. It's a very slow, very manual process, but we can do. But it probably on average takes about 1 hour a person. This could be several hours depending on the size of the company, and it could obviously be somewhat less than that, but let's just say 1 hour for argument's sake. So that's 1,000 to 2,500 hours worth of work that my salesperson has to invest in building these prospect profiles. If I have a salesperson making $100,000 a year, take $100,000 divided by 2,000 hours in a year, which is 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, they make $50 an hour. So we take the number of hours times $50 an hour. That means I have a cost of $50,000 to $125,000 per year per salesperson for them to build this research. And then we ask the question, well, why do our salespeople seem to be really busy with computer work or other things and not out selling? This is part of that reason. Let's just take this number and multiply that by 10 salespeople. That's not a very large organization, but let's just say they've got 10 salespeople. I have as a leader, I have a $500,000 to a $1.25 million cost annually to my business for them to do this work. So if you're LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, any sort of Big Data 2.0, and you could more efficiently help me build this information, here's my current spend, here's my pain. If you can come in for a fraction of that, then we are very excited to do business with you.